Hey there, welcome to Queer Kid Stuff. I'm Lindsay, and do you hear that sound? That means it's story time. We're gonna read Jamie by Olly Pike.
When you hear this lovely chime, you know it's story time. Telling tales excites our hearts and our minds. Oh, we love story time.
Jamie by Olly Pike. Chapter 1. Once upon a time, in an old dusty house, lived Jamie. Jamie was very handy. She was great at fixing things and could make almost anything from the little that she had. But her older, meaner brothers would often take advantage of this. "Fix my car," they'd moan. "Mend my motorbike," it would go on. "Haven't you done it yet?" they'd often be heard screaming. Jamie would be expected to do all this and more. She had to clean the house, prepare the meals, and sew up all the holes in her brother's stinky socks. It wasn't pleasant living with them at all. What made it worse, her brothers had their very own fairy godmother who could grant them wishes. "We want new outfits," one brother would demand. "Give us the coolest shoes," the other brother would say. "We want more stuff," they'd shout. And every time, just like that, their fairy godmother would give them what they wanted. Jamie asked if she could make a wish too. It didn't go down well. "You make a wish?" the fairy godmother would laugh. "But look at you, dressed in rags covered in dust. I can't grant wishes to people like you." This had made Jamie very sad, for she had only ever wanted to wish for one thing. She wished that she could feel right, because she didn't. She didn't feel right at all. Not in her body, that is. You see, how Jamie felt inside didn't match up with what she saw in the mirror. And oh, how she wished it could. Jamie had asked her brothers for help, if she could maybe wear their old clothes or they could help to cut her hair the way she wanted, but "You're not having any of my clothes," screamed one of the brothers. "And don't even think about using my scissors," unfairly scolded the other. It wasn't an easy life for Jamie, but it was the only one she had. However, Jamie wasn't completely alone. Her friends, the mice, were very kind and helpful. They loved her and they always would. Chapter 2. It was a chilly afternoon. Snow covered the ground and Jamie was inside, busy fixing the fireplace when... "They're here! They're here!" squealed one of Jamie's brothers. "Invitations to the royal ball and it's tonight." "Oh, how wonderful," said the other. "A night of dancing and dining, laughing and waving, and the chance to meet the princess." "How exciting!" Jamie joined in. She had heard much about the palace, the princess, and, though few and far between, the royal balls. "What?" shrieked the pair. "I wouldn't think for 1 minute that you'd be attending tonight's ball, Jamie," one brother said cruelly. "But why ever not?" Jamie asked. "It looks like we were all invited." "Yes, we're all invited to a royal ball, but there's nothing royal about you," one brother said in the most wicked way. "Ha! Yes, what would you wear to a royal ball?" the other brother cut in. "You have no nice clothes, your hair is very messy, and you're always covered in dust or grease or grime." "Or cinders," the fairy godmother had now joined in, and the brothers began to laugh nastily. In fact, they laughed all evening, as they got ready, all the while having their every wish granted. Once again, Jamie was left feeling very sad. "I guess my brothers are right," she thought, as she watched them ride off toward the palace. Or they? Jamie suddenly felt a feeling deep inside rising up. It was like fire in her tummy. What am I doing standing for this? This is not fair. I should be allowed to attend the royal ball too. I was invited after all. And with that, Jamie started to plan. Okay, she thought. What do I need? Transportation. I need to get there and I must have some nice clothes. Oh, and a disguise. A disguise to trick my brothers. Jamie smiled. She knew what she wanted. Now, to make it happen. She went out into the garden and found the biggest pumpkin she could find. All it needed was a few modifications and it would make a great ride. After a lot of hard work, Jamie had a roaring pumpkin car to drive to the ball in. It was incredible and one of a kind. Perfect. What's next? Ah, yes. Jamie dashed upstairs and found an old piece of material that belonged to her. She carefully started to fold and neatly rip the material. It was tricky without any scissors, but before long she had sewn together a very smart suit. Jamie tried it on. It fitted just fine, and Jamie felt great. Admiring her reflection, she thought, right, one last thing I need, a disguise. What can I do? And just then, she felt her trouser leg being tugged. It was her friends, the mice. They were holding her brother's scissors. Ah, thank you, little mice, but I'm not allowed to use them. My brother made it very clear, Jamie said defeatedly. The mice continued to tug, and as they did, Jamie felt that feeling in her tummy once more. It was like fire. Jamie spoke. Aha, but he didn't say you couldn't use them, did he? Jamie said excitedly to the mice. Feeling very pleased with herself, Jamie lay down on the floor and allowed her good friends the mice to cut her long hair. Snip, snip, snip. The mice started cutting. Snip, snip, snip. Jamie couldn't wait. Snip, snip, snip. What a brilliant disguise. Snip, snip, snip. And it was done. Jamie sat up. She looked in the mirror. Oh, Jamie gasped. She remained silent for a short while. She then spoke. Wow, she said to the mice, clearly very happy with what she saw. This is me. This is Jamie. Jamie smiled, for finally looking back was the person Jamie was inside. And it wasn't the hair or the suit or the pumpkin car, but it was Jamie. Jamie finally understanding who he was. And I'm a boy, Jamie said excitedly to the mice. I always have been. The mice nodded. They completely understood. And they ran up Jamie's arm to give the biggest hug a group of mice can give. It was now time for Jamie to go to the ball, and he was very excited. Chapter 3. The palace was filled with guests from far and wide, all dressed up looking very smart. They were dancing and dining, laughing and waving. Look at all the party guests. Almost everybody was having a wonderful time. Everybody except the princess. She did not enjoy these parties. Nobody seemed to just be themselves. And the lazy pair she was currently speaking with, they were even worse. We have a fairy godmother, you know, who grants us lots of wishes. We can get anything we want, no need to work. The princess smiled politely and backed away from the brothers. She had just about enough of the party when, vroom, beep, beep, the most spectacular car glided through the ballroom doors. It looked like a pumpkin, and it expertly darted around guests until it came to a very calm stop right by the princess. Out stepped a very well-dressed young man. Hello, Your Highness. I'm Jamie. Sorry, no space outside. I thought I'd just park in here instead, closer to the dance floor that way, Jamie said with a cheeky grin on his face. He outstretched his arm, gesturing to the princess to dance with him. The other guests watched in astonishment. Really? Who does he think he is? Said one of Jamie's brothers, failing to recognize the boy they saw before them. I don't know, said the other, but look, the princess is clearly impressed. And it was true. The princess had very quickly taken to Jamie. She was intrigued by this young man she was now dancing with, and she wanted to know more. The pair danced and talked long into the night. The princess was captivated by Jamie, by his story, and by his honesty. Wow, said the princess. What a story. Jamie had told the princess everything, not a detail left out. I can't quite believe it, she said. What? Jamie asked. You mean you made this car by yourself and this suit? All you two? Incredible. You are very talented. Jamie began to blush at the princess's words. There's just one thing. Oh? Questioned Jamie. Well, I just can't believe you let a mouse cut your hair, the princess laughed. Jamie giggled. It was actually a few mice. Don't you think they did a good job? You know what, said the princess. I think they did. And with that, she kissed Jamie on the cheek. Chapter 4. It was the end of the night, and long after midnight, almost every guest had gone, all except Jamie and his two brothers. The brothers had to know more about this well-dressed young man who drove a pumpkin car. Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, said one brother to Jamie. We simply must know, who is your fairy godmother? She's done a wonderful job. What magic is this? Magic? Fairy godmother? Jamie laughed. Why, this is just me. You mean you put all this together yourself? No magic? One brother asked. No magic, Jamie confirmed. Just a lot of hard work. Oh, and some help from some friends. Hard work, the brother spat, almost fainting at the sound. No thanks. And off they went. They were no longer interested. Jamie watched as his brothers walked away. The princess spoke. Didn't you want to reveal yourself to your brothers, she said. I don't think it's necessary anymore, or even possible, said Jamie. But why ever not? Asked the princess. Jamie looked at the princess and smiled. Tonight, Jamie had felt right for the first time, and he knew this was how things would stay. Well, Your Highness, I couldn't possibly because I'm not wearing a disguise. The very next day. The very next day, when the brothers woke up, not a room had been cleaned, not a floor had been scrubbed. No meals had been made, no socks had been sewn, so they turned on the TV, but soon started to moan. Look, there's the princess, gone for a ride, in a pumpkin-shaped car, a young man at her side. The brothers watched on, and all they could see was a very happy princess and a boy called Jamie. The end. I hope you all liked the reading of Jamie by Olly Pike. Olly actually has a YouTube channel of his own you should check out called Pop and Olly, where he does animated versions of his storybooks. You can check those out at his channel right over there, and you can check out the animated version of Jamie. I also voiced a character in one of Olly's newest stories. You should try and figure out what character I voice. Hint, it's the one with the American accent. Don't forget to subscribe to Queer Kid Stuff for new videos every Wednesday, and you can always support our videos by donating at our Patreon page. All right, that's it for me. See you next time at Queer Kid Stuff.